Picture a moment of radical dissent in the ancient world, thinkers questioning the sacred authority of centuries-old texts, forging new paths to truth. Welcome to Lecture 3 of our audiobook series on Indian philosophy. I am Dr. Surendra, your friend, philosopher, and guide, here to lead you through an exploration of the heterodox systems that challenge traditional Indian thought. Today, we shall examine three philosophical schools, Charvaka, Buddhism, and Jainism, known for rejecting the authority of the Vedas and offering alternative visions of reality. This lecture, designed for both beginners and advanced learners, will equip you with a deep understanding of their principles, thinkers, and roles in Indian philosophy, preparing you for structured academic responses. Let us proceed with intellectual curiosity and precision. To begin, let us define philosophy anew for those new to this discipline. Philosophy is the systematic investigation of fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, and reality, pursued through reason and reflection. It is divided into branches. Metaphysics explores what exists, such as the nature of the self or ultimate reality. Epistemology examines how we know truth, what validates our beliefs, and ethics addresses morality, what constitutes right action. In Indian philosophy, as discussed in prior lectures, many systems aim for moksha, liberation from samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, rooted in scriptures like the Vedas and Upanishads. However, the heterodox or Nāstika schools, Charvaka, Buddhism, and Jainism depart from this Vedic foundation, offering distinct perspectives. For academic purposes, you may state, philosophy is the rational study of metaphysics, epistemology, and ethics, with Indian philosophers' Nāstika schools rejecting Vedic authority to pursue alternative truths. Students, consider this a turning point, new voices challenging tradition. Let us first clarify the term Nāstika, a critical concept for beginners. Nāstika, meaning heterodox, refers to philosophical systems that do not accept the authority of the Vedas, unlike the Astika, orthodox, schools, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta, discussed later. Nāstika schools arose as critical responses to Vedic dominance, prioritizing reason, experience, or alternative scriptures. Their rejection of Vedic authority marks a significant divergence, yet they remain part of Indian philosophy's rich tapestry. Exam answer: Nāstika schools, Charvaka, Buddhism, Jainism reject Vedic authority, contrasting with Astika schools, and develop independent metaphysical, epistemological, and ethical frameworks. Students, think of Nāstika as a rebellion, questioning sacred texts to forge new paths. Now, let us explore Charvaka, the materialist school, known for its radical skepticism. Charvaka, also called Lokayata, denies metaphysical entities beyond the physical world, rejecting concepts like the soul, Atman, afterlife, or gods. It asserts that only perception, pratyaksha, direct sensory experience provides valid knowledge, dismissing inference, anumana, testimony, shabda, and Vedic scriptures as unreliable. Charvaka's metaphysics is materialist. Reality consists solely of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air, with consciousness emerging from the body, not a soul. Ethically, it advocates svabhava, natural pleasure, as life's goal, rejecting asceticism or liberation, moksha. Exam: Charvaka, a Nāstika school, espouses materialism, accepting only pratyaksha as valid knowledge, denying Atman, gods, and moksha, and promoting sensory pleasure. For beginners, imagine Charvaka as a skeptic, doubting unseen realities, focusing on the tangible. Key thinkers of Charvaka: though often unnamed in texts, include figures like Brihaspati, attributed with the Charvaka Sutras or Brihaspati Sutras. These works, now fragmentary, emphasize empirical observation over scripture, challenging Vedic claims. Charvaka's influence, though marginal, critiques Astika school's reliance on authority, prompting debates on epistemology. Exam. Charvaka's thinkers, such as Brihaspati, develop materialism through pratyaksha, influencing Indian philosophers' epistemological discourse. For you, Brihaspati is a pioneer, asserting reason over revelation. Let us turn to Buddhism, founded by Gautama Buddha, circa 563 to 483 BCE, a transformative Nāstika system. Buddhism rejects Vedic authority, the concept of Atman, permanent self, and Brahman, ultimate reality, positing Anatman, no self, and Shunyata, emptiness. Its metaphysics centers on Dukkha, suffering, Samudaya, cause of suffering, i.e., desire, Nirodha, cessation of suffering, and Magga, path to cessation, the Four Noble Truths. The Eightfold Path, right view, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration offers a practical path to nirvana, liberation from samsara. Epistemologically, Buddhism relies on direct experience and reasoning, not Vedic texts, using pratyaksha and anumana. Exam. Buddhism, a Nāstika school, rejects Atman and Vedic authority, teaching the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path for Nirvana, emphasizing Dukkha and Anatman. Students picture Buddhism as a path, walking away from suffering through mindfulness. Gautama Buddha, the central thinker, was a prince who renounced worldly life, attaining enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. His teachings, recorded in the Tripitaka, three baskets, Vinaya, Sutta, Abhidhamma, spread widely, influencing Indian and global thought. Key concepts like Pratitya Smutpadha, dependent origination, and Shunyata, emptiness, challenge Vedic permanence, engaging Astika schools in debate. Exam. Gautama Buddha, Buddhism's founder, develops Anatman and the Four Noble Truths, shaping Nāstika philosophy through the Tripitaka. For clarity, Buddha is a guide, offering a new vision of reality. Now, let us consider Jainism, another Nāstika school, founded by Mahavira, circa 599 to 527 BCE, also known as Vardhamana. Jainism rejects Vedic authority, positing eternal souls, jiva, trapped in matter, seeking liberation through moksha or keval janana, perfect knowledge. Its metaphysics distinguishes jiva, soul, and ajiva, non-soul, matter, with karma as subtle particles binding the soul, causing suffering. Ethically, Jainism emphasizes ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truth, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, celibacy, and aprigraha, non-possession, as paths to liberation practiced through asceticism. Epistemologically, Jainism accepts pratyaksha, perception, anumana, inference, and shabda, testimony, but critiques Vedic authority, relying on its own scriptures, agamas. Exam. Jainism, a Nāstika school, rejects Vedic authority, teaching jiva-ajiva dualism, karma binding, and moksha via ahimsa and asceticism. Students envision Jainism as a discipline, purifying the soul through non-violence. Mahavira, the 24th Tirthankar, is Jainism's key thinker, attaining keval janana after extreme austerity. His teachings, preserved the agamas, emphasize anekantvada, non-absolutism, acknowledging multiple perspectives on truth, engaging Astika schools in debate. Exam. Mahavira, Jainism's founder, develops Jiva-Ajiva dualism and Ahimsa, influencing Nāstika philosophy through the Agamas. For you, Mahavir is a visionary, balancing rigor and compassion. The significance of these Nāstika schools lies in their challenge to Vedic orthodoxy, enriching Indian philosophy's diversity. Charvaka critiques metaphysical speculation, Buddhism redefines liberation, and Jainism emphasizes ethics, all prompting Astika responses. Exam: Nāstika schools, Charvaka, Buddhism, Jainism reject Vedic authority, offering materialist, suffering-focused, and non-violent perspectives, enhancing Indian philosophy's dialectical richness. Students, their catalysts, sparking debate across traditions. For examination practice, consider this question. Compare the metaphysical and ethical positions of Charvaka, Buddhism, and Jainism. Your answer: Charvaka, a Nāstika school, adopts materialism, denying Atman and Moksha, advocating sensory pleasure via pratyaksha. Buddhism, rejecting Atman and Vedic authority, teaches Anatman and the Four Noble Truths for Nirvana through the Eightfold Path. Jainism, also Nāstika, posits Jiva-Ajiva dualism, karma binding, and moksha via ahimsa and asceticism. Metaphysically, Charvaka rejects non-material entities, Buddhism emphasizes shunyata, and Jainism distinguishes jiva and ajiva. Ethically, Charvaka prioritizes pleasure, Buddhism addresses dukkha, and Jainism stresses non-violence. This is detailed, structured, and marksworthy. For beginners, let's recap key terms. Nāstika, heterodox, pratyaksha, perception, anumana, inference, shabda, testimony, atman, self, anatman, no self, dukkha, suffering, nirvana, cessation, jiva, soul, ajiva, non-soul, ahimsa, non-violence, moksha, liberation. These are your tools. Define them clearly. Indian philosophy's diversity begins here with these challenges. Next lecture, we'll explore the Astika schools, Vedic foundations of Indian thought. Prepare by asking, how do these systems redefine truth? Until then, review this depth, define terms rigorously, and approach this study with intellectual commitment. Farewell for now. Our journey continues.